Shion reflects on the situation. Inside Shion's mind, tempers flared. She is angry that Dagruel has taken advantage of her, and that she is no match for him. Anger at the fact that his men and those of the SS were being defeated. A sense of helplessness in the face of an unreasonable reality. Feelings of inadequacy and frustration, and envy for the strong. She swallowed all these feelings and suppressed them with her calm judgment. Anger was the driving force. She does not run wild as she used to do. She thinks about what she can do and what she cannot do. Shion does not hesitate. She does not hate her opponents, but observes them with her soul. Shion already knew that good or evil, in itself, has no meaning. Amid the battle, unnecessary information is useless. Can we conquer it or not? That was all that mattered. Shion put aside her swirling emotions and accepted things as they were. Following Rimuru's words, Shion puts them into practice. No matter how absurd and difficult the idealism may be, she does so honestly and simply. As a result, Shion has come to intuit the essence of things with her soul. Shion's intuition was demonstrated in the battle against Dagruel. Shion felt Dagruel's bottomless and overwhelming awesomeness even before the battle. Hidden in his gentle appearance, hidden before, was a raging soul, a fierceness that she had never noticed before. Or perhaps that is the ultimate perfection that Shion is striving for. Dagruel embodies this, and it makes Shion shudder. If one thinks about it calmly, the difference in power between Dagruel and Shion is obvious. It was obvious that they could not even compete on the same level. But still, Shion did not have the word retreat in her vocabulary. Rimuru's plan was perfect. There must be a reason why Shion was placed here because it had to be so. Therefore, there was no reason for Shion to retreat unless she was ordered to do so. This was Shion's thinking. She genuinely believed in Rimuru. In a sense, it was an abandonment of thought. However, for Shion, Rimuru's order was supreme in everything. Rimuru-sama would not let us die in vain without doing something. This situation must have a meaning, then I will do my best to obey until new orders are given. A person without hesitation is strong. Shion did not fear even death, but maintained the front line with undaunted determination. It was this kind of Shion that moved the heart of Luminous. The noble blood-sucking princess hated to be defiled. That's why Luminous had planned everything and set up a trap with the perfect lineup. Since the trap was broken, there was no possibility of victory left. Even Shion could understand this, so how could the wise Luminous not understand it? The right thing to do was to join Rimuru's forces guarding the labyrinth of rammers, while preserving as much strength as possible. Shion, who had so much thought of this, did not resent Luminous' choice. On the contrary, a wise Luminous would quickly get out of this battle zone. At least, she would stop Luminous from leaving this battlefield. Luminous-sama's help was unexpected. If it had been only me, I would have been defeated a long time ago. But it was a choice like Fufufu, if I may say so. Demon Lord Luminous was not what Shion had expected. But that makes Shion happy. It is reassuring to know that you have friends you can trust. Shion was glad to have touched the heart of Luminous in the end, even if she would have to die here, or even more so. Dagruel is strong. Shion realized this when she actually crossed swords with him. Dagruel was still hiding his power, Shion was sure of it. If he really wanted to, she would be easily swallowed up by his power. Defeat is certain. But if even that was what Rimuru wanted, Shion's role was obvious. She must find out the true nature of Dagruel, and then lead it to the next step. With this determination, Shion's challenges, which could be called reckless, were repeated. Shion wielded her sword as if it were a model of what Dagruel should aspire to be. Then, after repeating death and rebirth by the power of Luminous, time stands still. On the edge of Shion's perception, the world has lost its color. Not yet. It's not over yet. Shion tries to roar with spirit, but her body does not respond. She stays still, unable to get up. In fact, she could not even open her mouth. She could not move even for a second. Only her consciousness continued to be puzzled. But Shion does not give up. The colors fading from the world are burned into her mind. That moment must be the cause of this mysterious phenomenon. Then, all we have to do is to reproduce it. It was an absurd theory. Unless they're guided by a great destiny like a hero, it is impossible for them to control time with their unique level of power. But, Shion neither knew nor cared about such truths. If there is a possibility, the only thing left to do is to do it. Shion activates the unique skill cook and remakes her body. As a result, her body, which had been optimized over and over again, accepted Shion's request this time. The only thing that matters is the result. Shion had transcended logic and made the suspended world her own. But it was only a process. The goal was far, far away, and Shion was still a challenger. A sword flashes in the air. It is a metaphor, for in a world without light, swords would not sparkle. But with a sharpness that can only be described as such, Shion's sword struck Dagruel. In the suspended world where all physical binding power has been lost, Dagruel is in control of his body with his own will. He hardened his own body harder than a Vajra stone, and caught Shion's blow with both arms. As a result, Dagruel falls to the ground on both knees. Dagruel was unable to catch the force of Shion's sword as it came down from the top, and was engulfed by the force of the blow. Dagruel's eyes widen. In the suspended world, there is no vibration of air, because all connections have been broken, and there is no transmission of energy where there is no will. The body, which is under the control of the will, is like a molecule that is being scraped through. Therefore, it is not possible to gain propulsive force by kicking the earth. The impact of the force will directly gouge the earth, and the foot will be taken off the ground, just like Dagruel's foot. In the suspended world, the laws of physics do not apply. Even if there are magical laws, almost all of them will be ineffective. It was only natural that the battle under such special conditions would be different from the usual situation. Dagruel clicked his tongue, and with an outpouring of his excess power, he repelled Shion's sword. This time, Shion was caught on the ground with both of her feet. After a few more rounds of such sword and fist crossings, both fighters were able to fight naturally. Dagruel had regained his instincts, and Shion had learned from the situation. The battle became more intense. It is not only the intensity of the appearance, but also the attack and defense by authority. Dagruel does not possess ultimate skill. This is because he himself is an ultimate life form, a being close to the true dragon. Just by waving his fist, he can create a destructive force that overrides the laws of physics. When released, the special vibrations interfere with the earth and atmosphere, causing localized destruction. However, these supernatural powers are meaningless in the suspended world. Dagruel's power is greatly limited, and his authority is ineffective as far as it goes. At this point, fate was beginning to be on Shion's side. Shion swings her sword with her mindless heart. She is getting leaner and faster. Still, she cannot reach Dagruel. Dagruel is hitting all of Shion's blades with his bare hands. Wow, so many blows and yet no damage. The compliment was genuine. After all, Dagruel's hardened body has the power of destruction of all things. Therefore, Shion could tell that the compliment was heartfelt and sincere. Of course. My beloved sword was given to me by Rimuru-sama. I love it so much that it is now like a part of my body. True to her words, Shion polished the sword every day to blend it with her own demonic energy. It is no exaggeration to say that it is a part of her body, and as Shion grows, she has reached the mythical grade of Hercules Deluxe. That is why it remains unbroken even in the suspended world. It was Shion's luck to survive Dagruel's destruction of all things. What was really fortunate was that Shion had followed Dagruel's example. Dagruel is a phenomenon in itself. It is an ultimate life form that possesses various powers such as hardening transformation, destruction of all things, magic nullification, attribute neutralization, and quake wave, all of which are equivalent to ultimate skill. This is the continent's wrath Dagruel. Normally, there is no way that Shion can win against such a Dagruel. He is a god of destruction, transcending both physics and magic. Since Dagruel is such a god, close combat is suicide. But, however, Shion learns. By the power of the unique skill cooked to produce the result she wants, by the complete manipulation of the law of cause and effect, she can always continue to optimize herself. And now, Shion was emulating Dagruel. Just as she had learned the suspended world, she greedily tried to make even Dagruel's supernatural powers her own. I don't believe it. You think you're as good as me with that kind of power? It's a back and forth battle. Yes, to Dagruel's amazement, Shion was not outclassed. She was able to bring her superior opponent to an even fight. The secret was also the guaranteed outcome of the unique skill cook. This ability was invincible in the world where time had stopped. In the suspended world, Shion's will took precedence over everything else, since both cause and effect existed on the other side of the flow of time. An attack that worked on the enemy always had the maximum effect, and an attack that could be prevented once could not even give Shion an itch. This was the reason why Shion was able to compete with Dagruel, despite the difference in maximum magicule by a factor of nearly 10. Even so, Shion is not superior to Dagruel. Imitation is no match for the real thing. Through a seemingly endless battle, this becomes clear little by little. But Shion's luck had not yet run out. Not to forget, Veldora is also present. It's about time for my... Veldora was about to take over with Shion in the end. This time, he will not be disturbed. He was sure of it. But then a hand touched Veldora. As soon as he turned her attention to it without thinking, a strong sense of weakness came over Veldora. Go. Veldora's panicked gaze fell on Lumina's, who was standing up with wounds all over her body. While Veldora was getting weaker and weaker, Lumina's blood color was getting better and better. I'll be punished for being late. Lumina spat, absorbing Veldora's vitality until she was satisfied. She was trying to hide her embarrassment, but Veldora, of course, did not notice. This has made Luminous even angrier, and the day when Veldora will be able to sense it is still far away, or perhaps never will be. Luminous, who has drained Veldora's life, now fully understands the suspended world. She has regained the strength she lost in the battle with Dagruel, and even her clothes have been regenerated to look brand new before he knows it. You just stand there and watch. With Veldora out of the way, Luminous joined Shion in the fight against Dagruel. And there was one more. Ultima was also ready. I can't lose to Shion-san. Don't forget about me. Ultima is known for its fast growth rate, and with experience, it can handle any situation. She already has a perfect understanding of the information particle, and has made it part of her own flesh and blood. She was able to fight as freely as in the real world, or even more so. Now, Dagruel has no reason to continue to stop time. Oh dear, we've lost our advantage. Dagruel raised one eyebrow and lamented. Shion and Veldora alone were troublesome, but now that Luminous and Ultima have joined the fray, there is no point in maintaining the suspended world any longer. In any case, the suspended world was dragging the suspended world down against Shion. At last, Dagruel cancelled suspended world. In the midst of all this, perhaps, I won't be able to play anymore. No one noticed that Veldora was worried about such thing. As soon as time begins to move again, the noise of the battlefield hits their ears. Ultima, who was about to challenge Dagruel, clicked her tongue and went back to her opponent Fen. Veldora put his hand on Shion's shoulder as she looked away. Then he said gravely, Shion, you fought well. But, the only reason you were able to fight Dagruel was because you were in the suspended world. Now that time has moved on, the world is once again governed by the laws of physics. Naturally, Dagruel's ability restrictions have been lifted, and his supernatural powers will be unleashed. Veldora implicitly says that Shion cannot defeat Dagruel. Thanks for the advice, Veldora-sama. Shion thanks Veldora, but she does not understand the meaning of Veldora's words. Even if she did, she wouldn't have cared. Shion's instincts had already understood the danger of Dagruel, even if she had not been told of it. Paralyzed by fear, Shion kicked the ground. Blasting the earth with an extraordinary amount of power, Shion lunges toward Dagruel. Accelerating to the force of a cannonball, she swings Hercules Deluxe at Dagruel. Dagruel caught it with his bare hands. It was an unbelievable sight, even though he was covered with a fighting spirit. Power and power collided with each other. Their high spirits clashed, creating a turbulence of unusual density on the battlefield. The fierce battle unfolded without even a sound. Luminous and, incidentally, Veldora, watch over the clash between the two heroes. What are you doing? Luminous, who was supporting Shion, asked with a stern look. Veldora remained silent in response. He was a little disheartened by the fact that he gave Shion's advice, and had been lightly ignored. He is trying to figure out how to make himself look good from this point on, but no good idea comes to his mind. He feels that he has definitely missed the timing, and it seems impossible for him to recover. In this situation, he should do nothing unnecessary. Silence is golden, Veldora decided to wait and see.